So we're going to be talking about a new habitat this week, right? We talk about habitats as places where animals live. We know that the habitat for a frog, for instance, would be a pond or a swamp, right? A habitat for a zebra would be the Serengeti on the plains of Africa, right? So we're talking about a new habitat, and if you haven't looked at your lessons yet, this is a habitat where fish and dolphins and whales live. It's the ocean. And I wanted to know about you. Have you been to the ocean? Do you go to the beach? Have you been to the beaches right here on Long Island? We're really lucky because we live near the beach. And I go to the beach all the time. I love the beach. I love to swim in the ocean. I love to paddle on my paddleboard on the ocean. I like to go on the boat on the ocean. And I like to travel around the world and scuba dive. Yep, I go under the water with a mask and a tank on my back so I could breathe out of the tank. And I swim around and I look at all the animals that live in the ocean habitat. Okay, so I want you to think about your experience with the ocean. Have you been to the ocean here? Have you been to the ocean maybe in Florida or California or someplace else that has an ocean? Did you ever swim in the water, or have you ever played in the water? Okay, how does the water taste? Did you ever get it on your mouth by accident? You shouldn't drink it ever. Drink clear water, only water that your grown-ups give you. If you notice something about ocean water, it's salty, okay? So I have a beautiful story here. I love the illustrations in this book, okay? It's called This is the Ocean. And although we talk about one of the ways that we can figure out if a book is fiction, which is a made-up story, and nonfiction, which is informational text, is we talk about the photography and the photos, usually in a nonfiction. This is a nonfiction book because it's about the ocean, but someone decided to illustrate it and paint these beautiful pictures of these beautiful animals. So we're going to learn about the ocean. It's called This is the Ocean, and the author is Kirsten Hamilton, and the illustrator is Lori Ann Siomades, okay? She did that beautiful artwork, because we know, what does an author do? Writes the words, and illustrator draws, paints, puts the pictures in, right? So let's look at this picture first. Does that look familiar to you? Have you ever been a place that looked like that? These animals live at the beach. They don't live in the water. They are seagulls. We see seagulls a lot. See, they don't swim in the water. They're on the rock. This is the ocean. Wow. Look. That's what I see when I go scuba diving. Always filled up from shore to shore like a briny cup. Do you know what briny means? Salty. You see these creatures? I've never swam with one of these big guys, but I have seen their tail come up out of the water. Do you know what they are? Where dolphins play and whale pods sing of their watery world. I've seen dolphins pop out of the water a lot when I scuba dive. They follow the boat. Dolphins are very playful. They like people. What else do you see? Ooh. So pretty. And mysterious things live in the deep, where the light never reaches, while waves up above toss shells on the beach. So there's different levels of the ocean, okay? The top layer of the ocean, the sun can get to, so certain animals live there. Then there's the middle of the ocean, where it's kind of murky, meaning that it's not too sunny. Then there's the bottom of the ocean, and we don't know a lot about animals that live on the bottom of the ocean because it's very deep and it's very dark. This is the sun that shines hot and dry and raises a mist from the sea to the sky. There's a sailor. There's somebody that we see on the ocean that doesn't live in the ocean but goes to the ocean, where it forms fluffy clouds that hurry together until sailors say, "We're in for some weather." Then clouds like galleons with holds full of rain set sail on the wind over the plain. So the weather sometimes is stormy on the water, right? These are the mountains that scrape the sky and catch the cloud ships sailing by. Look how beautiful that is. Those clouds look like ships on the ocean, right? Here it goes, it's raining. So the rain pours down on the thirsty land and cuts a path through the rocks and sand. It sinks to the roots of the trees waiting there with branches lifted in whispered prayer. We just learned about that. We just learned about how the roots suck up the water, right? Oh, wait a second here. These are the brooks that fill to the brink, the deep rocky pools where the wild goats drink. Okay, that is not an ocean. That is a brook. It's a small, tiny body of fresh water. So animals can drink fresh water. But animals that do not live in the ocean do not drink ocean water. It's not healthy for them. The splashing and leaping, the brooks rush down, polishing pebbles that lie on the ground. And join together in a headlong tumble until their laughter becomes a rumble. The brook can lead into the ocean, right? This is the river, deep and still, that flows at last from the foot of the hill. Okay, this is a different type of a body of water. This is not an ocean. It's a place where animals live. It's a river. And rivers are freshwater. They're not salty. So different kinds of animals live there. Into the broad green valley below where corn and wheat and grasses grow. That's a different habitat, right? That's not the ocean, is it? But look, it spreads into wide salt marshes and then slips silently into the ocean again. There's the animals that live near the ocean in the marshes. Most of the water on the earth, you can find it in the oceans. But plants, animals, and people live on dry land, and they need water to survive. Water progresses from the oceans to the clouds, to the streams, to the rivers, and at last to the oceans again. We call this the water cycle. Okay, so basically, from the oceans, which are most of the world, the sun, remember we talked about condensation, about states of matter, how it turns from water, a liquid, to steam or condensation, which is a gas. The sun heats it up and pulls that up, right? And then what happens? It gets misty and it makes clouds form of that. And then when the clouds get way too heavy, what happens? It rains down, right? And the rain goes into the streams, right? And the streams run and trickle down into brooks, and brooks run into the streams again. And many streams form a river. Okay, a river goes very, very slowly and until it reaches the ocean. Okay, but the ocean is the place. It's a vast, huge place. And I wanted to show you this. This is from Earth Day, but I don't have my globe with me. This is what the globe looks like. What is the blue on there? That's the oceans. Our Earth is made up, a good portion of our Earth is made up of oceans, okay? So they're very important because they have lots and lots of animals in the ocean. So we're going to learn about all those animals that live in the ocean, but we're also going to learn about the ocean itself and what it's made of. So I want you to think about when you've been to the ocean and talk about your experience at the ocean with your grown-ups, okay? And I'll come back later. We're going to do an experiment about salt water. Okay, see you later.